Hi, my name is Pete Hines. I'm the Global Senior Vice President at Bethesda.
Fallout 76, which you announced before E3, but you provided a ton of details to. It's going to be an online multiplayer experience. Talk a little bit about that and some of the challenges of spinning up dedicated servers in time for launch this fall.
Sure. So, at its core, it's a Fallout game. It's a role-playing game. It is entirely online. You can play it solo or you can play it with others. But in our game, every character that you see is being played by a real player, is a human. So there are no human NPCs. At its core, though, it's still about questing and exploring, leveling up your character, deciding what kind of things that you want to do, what you want your character to be. You can have multiple characters. So if you want a solo with a melee guy, and then you want to have a different character for when you're playing with other people, you can have lots of different characters. It all runs on dedicated servers, but you actually never see a server. So when you go to play, you get put into a world with dozens of other players. We haven't said how many, but it's not hundreds and it's not thousands. It's not an MMO. It's not a free-for-all, kill everybody else you see. We have systems in place that we're still working on to change sort of how the griefing aspect works, because we want there to be some of that tension of I see another person and I don't know if they're going to help me or hurt me or what I'm going to do to them, what they might do to me, but to not have it be unfun. And we certainly, you don't lose your progress, you don't get all your stuff looted. When you die, you just pick where you're going to respawn and keep going. You don't lose your progression or anything like that. So we want it to be sort of the role-playing of who do you want to be in this world where the other characters are all other people that are also trying to figure out who they want to be in the world.
Awesome. And Todd came out on stage and announced that he created this special edition helmet just because he wanted one. It sold out faster than I think any of our Shack staff members could get hands on. Yep. Are there artificial scarcities of this, or is demand just out off the charts? I have to ask these hard-hitting questions for Shacknews.
This one is actually, so last time around with the Pip-Boy, we're actually able to go back to the manufacturers. First of all, every collector's edition that I've ever done in almost 19 years at Bethesda is always about what Todd wants. Todd wants this book, he wants this, that boy, I make sure that boy gets what he wants. So this is entirely his idea, as are most all of our collector's editions, and he really wanted the helmet, and we're doing the helmet, but they are really large, turns out kind of complicated helmets, and there's no artificial, we are making as many as humanly possible, but we can't make literally one more than we have planned, because they're there is no way we can get all these done and ship them to you and get them in a box and get them to retail in time. So what there is what there is. Now, I will say, because I get asked about this all the time on Twitter, Pete, are they sold out? I have been here underwater. I haven't even watched our own no-clip thing yet that went out yesterday. I'm oh, I wonder what that says and what I should know about what our devs just said. So I have no clue. There might be retailers who still haven't put their stuff up yet, or that are still, you know what I mean? I don't know which countries and which retailers have put their stuff up or not. I am completely ignorant. So don't ask me, because I honestly don't know. I'm not keeping information for you. Maybe there's some retailers that are still planning on putting theirs up or not, or they took down certain, what they don't want to do is over order, right? Where they were only allocated, 50,000 and they sold 51 and now they're screwed and they got to go tell 1,000 people they're not getting the thing they bought. So sometimes they'll go under a little bit and then open it up again just to get to the right number. I hope you guys can all get one.
Yeah, and I think it just speaks to how desperate your fan base was for more Fallout, and you decided to give us Fallout 76. Does this mean there will never be a Fallout 5?
It does not mean that.
Awesome to hear. So then this is a prequel, right?
Yeah, it's a prequel to all the other Fallouts. And the 76 is significant because Vault 76, which is the vault you start the game, is one of the non-experimental vaults that Vault-Tec did. It is one that was truly set up for those people to be handpicked and special to rebuild the world once the doors open, because their assumption was this is all going to be screwed and somebody's got to clean up this mess and start to get America back on track, and it's supposed to be the people in this vault. And so you are one of those folks that emerges from the vault smiling and saluting to go out and rebuild the world.
And you definitely had some really interesting trailers, with that typical Fallout humor. Are we to expect more kind of hype reels like this leading up to launch?
I don't think that's unreasonable. Like that we, Vaultec is always a very good spokesman and explainer of things and how we work. So yeah, hopefully there's more of that coming.